Hello, hey guys, welcome. This is another live session, or as we call it, conversation of excellence. Hey, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Nishith. I'm one of the co-founders of Global NLP Summit. I'm a master trainer of NLP, and I've been doing NLP for the last 15 years. And today seems really exciting because I'm here with Nick. Uh,
Hi.
uh, it is unfortunately the first time Nick and I are speaking today together. But we've got 10 minutes to catch up, and I got to know so much about him. So I'm gonna allow Nick to share his story a little bit later because he will be able to do justice in a way that I won't be able to do justice. But I do want to bring some of the things that Nick does. I mean, first of all, Nick's an NLP trainer. He's a yoga teacher. He teaches criminal psychology. He's done research in ancient wisdom. I'm sure I'm missing a few things. And you've learned from Paul Ekman Institute, which is great for me because I used to love this TV show called Lie to Me, which I've heard is based on Paul Ekman's work on microexpression. It used to be one of my favorite shows. I was young back then. I mean, I still consider I'm young now, but yeah, it was such a such a great show. But it's really exciting to have you here with us, Nick. And specifically today, we're gonna explore that how there are overlaps between NLP and behavioral analysis, and specifically within the context of sales. Is that accurate to say? Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Let's say hello to the people that are watching us and to you. I'm very happy that I met you today and have the opportunity to talk a little bit, to break the ice, to make rapport, to have fun before we go here.
Yes.
Uh, okay, I will start the story from 1992. It was
Wow.
We have a title here of NLP and behavioral analysis in sales, but all that stuff came a long way back. I worked with them many years. And now, after 10 years that I run these programs in corporate world, and I have the outcomes, I decided to take it out to the public and to the people. I will start with my first in 1992 job as a trainer. They took me as a trainer in a company, insurance, a big one, to train them product, no soft skills, no nothing, just to execute a program in order to sell it to the people. And that was my first experience with sales. Uh, as I was going on in my business, I have many jobs as many titles as a sales manager, operation manager, HR director, all these years in business. But I was in business with different hats. The one it was the trainer, the other one it was the executive, and the other one that I was working, it was the psychologist, the psychotherapy thing that I have. And every Sunday, I remember for many years, I was running corporate programs with the company that I was in customer service and sales and leadership. But in that time, in these models, in back, very back in 1992 to 1999, uh, what happened in that road? Uh, when I changed position and I start to work in a mobile industry, but I trained in that period pharma, IT, and detail. But as an executive, I had the opportunity to be head of many call centers with 1,000, 2,000 people, with different projects, as the most of the people know, 10 different departments, from inbound, customer service, outbound, cold calls, research, polls, all that material of phone calls and recorded ones. So we start to create a model Firstly, we wanted to know why we don't have the results that we want, and what happened in our structure there, how to open with the client, and all that basic things that we give to the people to learn in sales and in customer service. In that research, one day I decided to put the MP3 file and put it in a program. And when I put it in the program, I saw two different sound waves. And I click the play. And I start with my visual to see when they were meeting or they were not meeting these sound waves. This is where the NLP thinking came. And I said, okay, I have the visual right now. I see the congruency. I can see the incongruence in that, but I need to hear specific what they say. And I had a team because we had more than 25 people that they audit the calls in that period. And we analyze the wording, the state, the tonality, whatever we want, and we know in NLP. And we start to create not a structure uh, scenario, but we create a subjective scenario to each person that we have using the skills of rapport, of pacing, of calibration. And not for us, it was not about to sell in the first call. It was about to create a relationship in order to check my boundaries and then what to do. So we play a lot, many years, and in inbound calls and in outbound. Uh, and we had a success. I am one of the founders of Institute of Customer Service in Greece. So we had for 10 years the best practices about customer service and what we did in that. And at the same time, I start another project with the sales people. And when I say sales, with face-to-face appointments, even in sales or in customer service in the shop, in retail. Uh, from that field, we analyze with video from the stores, the most of analyzing. So I had the verbal from the one hand knowledge from the call centers and the body from the other hand. And with the team, we start to combine a little bit. We create a model. We know that what we do in NLP, we create a model. So we we did something deeper than we teach right now in sensory acuity. We went to more specific data. We went to science. Uh, as I'm associate of Paul Ekman. I have a training from him. I have a training from David Matsumoto and John Navarro. So all the knowledge of the body language, the criminal psychology, but it's not a criminal. The knowledge of behavioral
Yeah.
analysis, uh, put it in place, and we start to have better results with the companies, and we train 35 companies. The four of them, they were award winners in sales, and the other list, they had the ROI back and more. So we can say that the method we design, because we already salesperson, they have experience. They know the salesperson more than anyone. Uh,
Yes.
but I said to myself, that's why if I need to put a hat, I will put the sales hat, because even in psychology, I have the best product inside me that don't believe it himself, and I need to make him buy himself. So
Yes.
we sell every time in every aspect and field.
Yes.
Uh, why we uh, neurosales. There is a secret psychology to sales success and peak performance. Most people don't know about it, and that's why most never come success in sales. A lack of success for me is not the problem. It is merely a symptom of what's going on inside to that person.
Yes.
So we come back again because what we say in NLP, we say we train skills and techniques. If someone is good in techniques, it's a good technician. If
Yes.
someone is good in skills, is a strategist and techniques. So this is a quote from Wyatt Woodsmouth that said, we want to train strategists. So for me, the thing that it was out from the field of sales, it was the focus of the state, the people, and how in that state and in that knowledge, I give them extra tools. I decide applied behavioral analysis because it was focused on applying these behavioral principles in real world situations and not experiential and experimental behavior. We needed the people not to lost in translation about wording. We know 93% is non-verbal, and changing their focus to the body language. And this is how all that, because it's a big problem when we are in corporate world, it's a big problem. 20 days class, and with feedbacks inside, you can understand the training process. And long story short for that, it's that. Now, I don't want to say many things uh, now before the conference. One major thing for me that I need to say it's that we are out right now. We don't need to look service. We don't need to look product, and we we are into looking experience. But the next more different thing for me, it's look to the customer subjectivity and not in experience general.
Yes. Yeah. Great. So it's sort of what we say NLP is about it. NLP is about the study of subjective experience because all of us have our own different map of the world, and I'm sure that that's true for sales as well because people will have a different buying strategies and buying principles and buying criterias and to really so from what I understand what you shared that to really understand how people experience that and to really recognize that how everyone does that that's one of the key things also something that you shared earlier that we are selling all the time this is uh, there's a metaphor that I had learned about it from who there was also I don't remember but it was one of the things that there was a guy who came and said that I'm not good at sales and I don't know how to sell and the other guy went and asked him that hey have you ever watched a movie that you really really like and the guy goes like yeah so many and have you ever told a friend about it in such an enthusiastic way that your friend had to go and watch it and they go like yes and so like yeah so you've sold the movie to the friend so you have sold uh, yeah
Yeah, simple as that. And at the same time, he was trying to sell to the other that he doesn't sell, but and he sell the idea that he doesn't sell at the same
yes
time.
yeah amazing good
Yes, we do that
excellent
all the time. But I said we have in front of us every time, and I will say it with all the hats that I have. We have the most profound map of the world every time inside us. So this is our fields and bias that don't help us to understand. Even we know that to create a little bit state before we meet someone to have the outcome. We forget
yes
that kind of things, and I believe most of in our field they will do when they are talking because we know them. They are here. We have the third position that it's with us. And this is our calibration point, not to focus
yes
what we have in front of us. know
Yes.
and play perfect the third position.
Right.
So in the conference, I will not go too much into linguistics. We are experts in that.
Yeah.
The thing that I put in that is the micro expression and the body language, and what is the points, the points of interest, or the clusters that we to focus on, because the knowledge of the sales we have it. We just need more tools to calibrate and have the outcome.
Great. So the question that I have for you is, so keeping the frame and focus on body language and micro expression and even sensory acuity, building rapport. Uh, so how does that have an impact on sales per se? So what or why does that become important for sales?
Because the most of the time we don't hear from the people what they have inside. We That's why surface structure, deep structure. So if I'm waiting to hear something for the person that this time construct a reality to make it work, I lose the 7 seconds that I have. This is the rule of 7 seconds that I have to read face, to see the interactional style of the person, to understand the content, to understand the voice and the body.
Oh,
So, in 7 seconds, we work. This is the programming for us. We work on that. We have these clusters to watch. Every cluster has a point of interest inside. It's not only the voice. We know that.
yes.
It's not only the body. We have subcategories that we need to understand, the submodalities of that, that we need to understand and focus in order to have an info before the other person speaks. So
Wow.
the calibration skill in that time, this is something that we train. We said practice, practice, practice. And the calibration in that time, I believe, I don't know how fast can it be. I never had a measure of that. The only
Yes.
measure that I have is the response of the person. So this is my reality in that time.
Yes.
The feedback,
Yeah.
the expression that has, that tells me how to move, where to go,
Yes.
how to come close to him to understand, okay, what is important. We have the questions, what they believe. This is the easy. For me,
Yeah.
all the skill is there, not in the 7% of the words in communication. The 93 is it's the key. It's the key.
Yeah. Right. Right. So if I understood you right, so it's in the first 7 seconds that you pay attention, consciously pay attention to all of these things uh, and identify what's going on. Have I got that right?
We have every time that we create a question that the person needs to go inside and create uh, and put it in its model of the word. It's not only the first. I can have that 7 seconds, 5 to 7, in every a question that I do to the person, in every answer to the person. They need time for that. And I
Yes.
just said we need to create the space for the person
Yes.
to feel safe,
Yes.
uh, to feel judged,
Yeah.
to have the opportunity to say whatever it has to say about the product, and then I will come back to talk. I can
Oh,
respect the model of the word in order to walk. We have to talk. If I don't respect it, I'm not selling something. I'm an
right.
egomaniac seller and no outcome.
Yes. Yeah. That's
So
amazing. Just to be. Sorry.
yeah,
Go on. Go on.
I'm going back again to that the safe place for them. You need to
Yes.
have, as a salesperson, you need to be not cold blood killer. It's not about you will take the outcome. But when you're manifesting a different outcome in yourself, you will have whatever you want.
Yes.
It's the law of manifestation. It's not only in sales. To be inside me, create my outcome, uh, have my ecology,
Yes.
respect the other people of the world, and I can be as flexible as I want. This is
Yes.
this is our skill for survivor, for our attitude,
Yes.
and we have a choice how to take it out. Hard,
Yes.
soft, caring, cold blood killers in sales, whatever. But it's our uh, every time we have the opportunity. Uh, a great philosopher, Alan Watts, choice is the act of hesitation before you make the choice. So,
Oh.
in that point, uh, we can install in ourselves many good skills for the
Oh.
person that we
Yeah. I find it really, really fascinating that in that short window, like you mentioned, that there's so much that we can know. Of course, coming from a respectful place of understanding the map of the world and finding that common, I sort of, in my words, I sort of call it shared vision, a shared value, something that's together that takes it to the next place. I mean, at first in my head, I went like that. Okay, this, yeah, 5 seconds and you paying attention to so much, is that even possible? But I can think about it because unconsciously we do it all the time. i
of course.
know I know of, quite often that when my wife sometimes comes home and she enters the home in a certain way, and in that first 5 seconds I know that I'm in trouble. It's just I know it. I because over the period of time unconsciously I have calibrated it. I have understood how she enters, what she does, and it sort of just gives me so much information about that I know that I've got to run out of here, uh, the first opportunity the first opportunity I get. But it's really fascinating to learn to do this really consciously,
Yes.
uh, and to pay attention, to create that space, to pay attention to all the cues, to be really sensory acute, and coming from an intention of uh, respecting the map of the world.
Or of not knowing and the curiosity to know what is going on.
Yes.
The most of the time we have for the people, especially that we have together and we live together, we have some patterns there, and
Yes.
we believe that they work. I saw that face, and I know that coming. To take the trash out, to clean here, to do some things.
Yeah.
But it's not only that. There are more, as we said about some modalities, finer distinctions, and most of all, they are data. We have data. This is
Yes.
science. This is science.
Yes.
We
Yes.
have 43 muscles and 10,000 connections that they can do by itself in the brain. So
Oh,
we are talking about data, and not
right.
for the NLP word is a more depth in
Yes.
sensory acuity. For me, trainer in NLP, it was a cutting edge thing that put in sensory acuity more than the games that we know, and I give them the ability about the visual to be
Right.
more specific because they take that from that. Uh, and right now, yes, we're talking about a specific protocol and a specific use of behavioral analysis in that light form of behavioral analysis. And we talk about that because we have many, many results right now. So uh,
Yes.
we know if something works.
Right. Right. Good. And so if I were to sort of take this in the direction of the session at the summit, right? So for people who are expecting and wanting to be part of your session, at the end of the session, what are some of the things that they would learn or take away from or experience from your session,
Yes.
that they can practically apply in sales or anywhere else? I mean, in
Uh,
life.
of course, one of the things that we will see, and I will say the model, but we will not be in deep down in NLP things, because we are all NLPers in that conference. And I said I will not speak about the language in this process. We have many things to see, as how we recognize the micro expressions, what is the clusters that we need to watch, what are the point of interest for us that they can lead us to decide what wording do I choose now, how to pace the client, or do I need to pace the client, or now I need to provoke because he's playing with me, not in purpose, automatically, because he does all the time. How I can bring him here? So it's an increase of sensory acuity skills for me, and attentiveness, uh, how we can read the unconscious messages and what we can do with them. Uh, Value points and barriers, maybe without asking. So we will frame that. Uh, and for me, identify a big percent the what they need. It's the success. The negotiation, and again, I said the wording. It's something different in that.
Right.
But I will have some examples, wording and how you make the other person and how you can read him. What questions can you do in order to have the map open in front of you?
Yes. Yeah. Great. That's really really fascinating. Just the ability to know and to understand where people are at, and that opens up so many choices, so many options in terms of what to do next, and what are the next steps, what words to use, like you said, how to lead, and that's just absolutely brilliant.
And we will have a structure, a model, because uh, everyone that creates something does a model. Uh, I will open that model there.
Oh,
Uh, it's simple, and I'm waiting for the people to fast track after the session, uh, just to have fun with that knowledge with the people around them for the first time. Then we can talk more deeply about the product.
uh, God save the family and friends, right? It's always the case with.
But we have around people to understand, to calibrate what we
Yes.
know. So, okay, it's okay.
Yes, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So this is brilliant, and I mean, I'm really, really excited uh, to just experience this session, because I mean, part of the running the conference is sales, and in what we do, and community building is a lot of it selling, because when we're building community for us, just to it's a constant idea of selling the value that, hey, be part of this community and you can get value. It's not always a monetary transaction. It's the selling of
So,
ideas, it's the selling of vision, it's the selling of the identity or the experiences that they achieve. And I see so much value and so much in understanding what really goes on and what's really happening. So I'm definitely really excited about this. uh, if there were any last sort of words or messages that you messages either ways that you'd like to share, specifically in terms of the session, or anything else that you'd like to add
I,
for people who
it's
might be attending.
quote. It's a quote that I have from. Okay, we start for that with a central quote that a professor of Harvard said that the 95% of the selling is unconscious. So if we keep that in mind, we will be focused in what we need to pay attention and not
Right.
to lose ourselves in a communication, because we take too much for our identity out and has this conflict. We are
Yes.
facilitators of a communication. This is what we are, the NLPers. So we need to understand that and use it clear. So this is
Yes.
my message.
Great. Brilliant. Excellent. So this is really really exciting. And just for all of you who are here with us and who are going to watch it later, and for all of you who said hello to us, thank you all so much. Uh, so this has been really exciting in terms of understanding how NLP meets behavioral analysis and how that can create an impact in sales. So for those of you who are, I mean, we're speaking in the context of selling product or service, but it isn't about product or service. It's just practically selling your identity, your ideas, your values. It'll be an absolutely brilliant session. Plus, just the idea of developing that level of calibration, observation, understanding unconscious cues, isn't just about sales, is it right? Because as a coaches, we want to understand that in terms of what's really going on with clients. As trainers, you want to know what's going on with your students, or even in a meeting with your partner, you want to know what's really happening with them. So I see that there's going to be such a great amount of learning over so many different areas and so many different contexts.
I have a different title for that, a whole course, how to become a neurolinguistic profiler, and it's
Wow.
for coaches and the people that they work with in personal development and therapy. So we put all the skills
Yes.
uh, that they need to have in their job. Because for me, I start first to use NLP in business, but when I put behavioral analysis and NLP in therapy and in sessions, uh, it was amazing. Really, it
Right.
was amazing. The results for the people and the understanding that I have for their situations.
Great. I'm excited.
Me too. I'm looking forward for the conference.
Same here. Same here. Great. And again, for those of you watching, if you haven't yet got a chance to look at the conference, there's a link underneath us. Just go to the conference and you can look at the whole schedule. Uh, I think Nick's session itself alone is worth being part of the conference, but there are 30 more sessions like that. So you can have a look at the schedule. And if you haven't got your tickets, now would be a great time to get it. The early bird is going to get over in next 2 3 days, so you might as well buy now rather than wait for the last minute. Right?
Yes, and there will be amazing names as I saw, and all teachers of mine, trainers and friends, and amazing organization because all together we are in a specific point to share something. So well done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that this summit is about all of us, and we make the summit, otherwise it isn't there. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Nick. And thank you everyone for joining, for taking the time out, and to you as well for taking this time out to have this conversation. Uh,
It
this
was a,
really takes the.
it
Sorry?
was a, it was a pleasure.
Yes. Yes, and likewise. This really takes my excitement because I was anyways going to be part of your session, right? We have 3 sessions, and we gotta have to make up your mind for one. And I had already made up my mind to be part of your session because sales is something really close to me, and there's so much to learn in that. But after this conversation, it's taken my excitement to the 10x level. So super looking forward to it, and hopefully I will see some of you guys there at the summit as well.
Thank you all. Have a great time. I don't know what time it is in every place that they hear us. For us, it's a little bit afternoon. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See ya.
Bye.